Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Just My Two Cents. And today I do have another review for you all. Today we will be talking about Lowe's and their home delivery. Now, I don't have any slides or anything to go along with this video for today because I really want to just jump on here really quickly and tell you all about my experience. So let's jump right into the video. So in July, I decided to purchase a wash machine and a dryer. And anybody who has ever made a purchase for any type of appliance for a house, you already know you're about to shell out a couple $100s, and you want to make sure that the product you receive is top notch, that you're getting what you're paying for, and that you're going to get some durability out of it. And so I know Lowe's or Home Depot, they have a phenomenal reputation for making sure that the products that they provide their customers are top tier, regardless if you buy on the lower end or the top end of the spectrum. So, with that being said, I decided to go in and purchase a Whirlpool washer and dryer. And the reason I did this because last December for Christmas, I bought my parents a washer and a dryer for Christmas. And so I really liked the way that the wash machine worked as well as the dryer. I love the way that the clothes smell once they were finished washing and how it just lit up the house once they were drying. And I was like, okay, this is the wash machine and dryer that I wanted. So I went to Lowe's back in July and I decided to make a purchase. Now, before you all say, well, you're sounding, kind of like mean and harsh and so forth and so on. I do want to recognize that we are in the middle of a pandemic. I do want to recognize that. I understand that the quality and the service that I got back in December is probably not going to be the same right now because we are in the middle of a pandemic. However, I do want to make sure that I point out that instead of me going inside the store, because I know that the Lowe's where I live, it can be really congested, especially, really, it really doesn't matter what day or week that you go there. It's just congested, like, period. So I decided to go on the website. I knew the washer and dryer that I wanted anyway, so I bought it. I bought the parts and everything that went along with it, and it was pretty simple. Paid, and they gave me this email that said, we'll call you when we get ready to deliver it. So I said, okay, cool, that's fine. So as when you buy anything online, they gave me the date that they were going to deliver certain parts, and then they gave me the date that they were supposed to deliver my washer and dryer. They told me that they would call in order to set up a time. Now, this to me, it was going really smooth. I didn't have any issues. However, I did have to kind of set up a time with my parents for them to come to my house, for them to let the people in so they could set up everything because on that particular day I had to go to work. However, that wasn't a problem. Cool, whatever. Let's move on. So it gets to the date that they're supposed to start delivering the items. What I'm noticing online is that the delivery dates are off. So they're supposed to deliver like the parts that you need in order to connect the washer and dryer. They were supposed to deliver some on that Monday, and then they were supposed to deliver everything else on that Tuesday, and that includes the washer and the dryer. And I was like, okay, cool. However, while I'm in a meeting, I get a notification saying that, hey, just kidding. Actually, we're going to deliver like the wash machine connectors and so forth. We're going to deliver that today, and then on Tuesday we're just going to deliver your dryer, and then later on at the end of the month we'll deliver everything else. However, we have canceled your wash machine. So if you need to replay that so you can like make sense, definitely redo that. I'll try to explain it again for those who didn't catch it. So they were supposed to deliver the connectors for the wash machine on that Monday. They were supposed to deliver the dryer and the other connectors and stuff on that Tuesday, and everything else that I needed to connect, like the wash machine and other pieces that were not going to be delivered for the dryer, they were going to be delivered later on in the month. And then for the wash machine, they canceled that. And at this point, I was just as confused as you probably all are right now, because I'm like, wait, so back in July when you all gave me the delivery dates and time, you said half of the stuff was supposed to be delivered on this Monday and the rest of everything else was supposed to be delivered on this Tuesday. Now it's the day before and you're telling me, okay, well, actually we're going to deliver one thing today, some stuff tomorrow, some stuff at the end of the month, and for your wash machine, we don't even have a delivery date. And so at this point, I'm not even going to lie to you all. I'm pissed because of the simple fact that you give me this date. You said somebody's supposed to call me to set up a delivery time. Nobody ever called to set up any type of delivery time. And then I come to find out that you're piecemealing, giving me my stuff. And now you're telling me that my wash machine is canceled. And I didn't really find out that the wash machine had been canceled until I went to the store. Online, when I was checking everything, when it was giving me all the delivery dates, they said online that it didn't have a delivery date, and they didn't know when it was going to get a delivery date. And I was like, you know what? I said, let me call somebody. So I called Lowe's, and when I called Lowe's, they were playing with me. In my sense, they were playing with me because I called the delivery people to try to get some more intel, trying to figure out where things like back order and stuff, because I know that we're in a pandemic and I know that parts and stuff is short because they're making like ventilators and masks and other things that they need in a hospital. So if you tell me, hey, we're short because of this, then I don't mind. But just changing stuff and not giving me any type of explanation or anything, and I've been waiting since the middle of July, and it's now almost the middle of August, waiting for my stuff. Like I'm having an issue now. So I call the store, the delivery department, nobody picks up, and then the phone reroutes me back to customer service. I talk to customer service, tell them everything. Then they route me back to the washing machine department or the appliance department. Then that person routes me back to the delivery department. Then the delivery department, they still don't pick up. I go back to customer service. I go back to the appliance department. They take me back to the delivery department. Next thing I know, I'm on the phone 15 to 20 minutes later, and I still haven't gotten anything accomplished. So then the phone just starts ringing. I guess they start seeing my number come across, and then the departments, they don't pick up. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I call customer service. Customer service saying that it's going to be about an hour until I get any type of person on the phone. So I was like, you know what? I live like 10, 15 minutes away, about 10 minutes away. I'm going to go ahead and drive down there. So I kind of just blocked my schedule off for the rest of the day, and I drive down there to Lowe's. So I go to customer service, and I say, hey, can you explain this to me? And she was like, okay, let me pull it up. So before I went down there, I printed like my original email that I got from Lowe's off, and I printed off the new email too, because I wanted them to see how they gave me this information up front, but then the day of or the day before, you give me this information. Well, the girl, she looked over the information. Let me stop. The person, the sales representative, let me slow down. The sales representative, she gives me the information about what happened. And she looked like she was already kind of annoyed a little bit, but she was, still professional. And so I look around while she's looking stuff up, and I see it's two other people over there. And these people, they look just as mad as I am, but I realized, and I used to work in customer service, I'm like, I'm not going to treat anybody mean. And that's probably why she probably was acting like that, because, like I said, these things cost a lot of money. And when this kind of stuff costs a lot of money and you're messing with people's money and you're not delivering it or something is wrong with it, people get mad. And I don't blame them for that, especially during this time, because money, and jobs and stuff like that, this is a weird time with all that. And so I can definitely understand you being upset. So those people were over there upset. I guess they were waiting for a manager. They weren't together or anything. So I'm like, this is really about to be a tough day for them. And so when I pay back attention to what she is telling me, the lady starts telling me, well, I've looked at everything, and this is what we're finding out. So they're not going to deliver the parts for your washing machine and your dryer until the end of the month, but your dryer is set to come out tomorrow. Your washing machine, they canceled that, and you're only getting the connectors. I'm like, yeah, I got the connectors today. And then she's like, yeah, so your dryer, excuse me, is supposed to be delivered tomorrow. And I was like, so what about my connectors and stuff for the dryer? And she was like, well, that's not scheduled to be on the truck to be delivered until the end of the month. I'm like, none of this is making sense, because in order for them to, that's why I want them to deliver it, so they can hook it up. That's why I clicked the button for them to deliver it and hook it up. And she was like, well, what I would suggest doing is probably trying to figure out if they can put it on the truck. And I was like, so can I cancel those connecting parts and I can just pick them up in the store? And she was like, yeah, that's cool. And so that's exactly what I did. I canceled the connecting parts, and I went to the back and I picked those up, and I bought those while I was in store. So when they brought the dryer out, I would be able to go forth and just have them hook it up. And I said, so what about the wash machine? And as she stated, it had been canceled because it seems like they were out of stock. And I'm like, it's out of stock? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. She said, well, what you can do, since it's canceled, is go to the back and buy it again. And that way you can have like a more, like a better sense rather of when they'll deliver it, to make sure that it's in stock. So I go to the back, and while I'm in the back, it's a lot of hokey pokey going around. You got people just standing around. You got people who, this one lady, apparently she was the manager, and she was like the only person working back there at the moment. And she was like, you need help? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to help you, but I'll see what I can do. I'm like, and I'm thinking, okay, so let me pause right here and say, so at first I didn't know she was the manager. I thought that she was just like a sales associate. However, later on, through conversation with the person who was like over the area, I found out that she was the actual manager, I guess, of that spot area. I don't know how all that works there. However, I was like, so that's the manager? That's what I'm thinking to myself. But she talking about she don't know if she gonna be able to help me, because I would think that if you are the manager, then you would be able to, know a little bit about what customers need, just in case like the floor lead is out and about like this lady was. So the lady helped me. The manager or whoever, she helps me pick out the parts and stuff that I need. I said, okay, cool. Then she was like, so you buying a washing machine? I said, yeah. And she was like, do you know which one you want? So I started looking around. I'm looking around. I don't see any of them that I like. And then I'm like, then I finally found the one that I actually bought, like the floor model. I found that one. I'm like, so I want to get this one. And then she was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, let's go see if they have it in stock. So then that's when the floor lead comes up, and this other lady who's like a sales associate there. So I have like 3 people helping me at this point. And at this point, I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, does it take 3 people, 3 sales associates to help me buy one washing machine? Like, it doesn't. And so what I end up finding out, because the floor lead, she ended up like taking over and like helping me after I explained everything to her. She explained to me that washing machine was out of stock, and it wouldn't be back in stock until the 10th of September. Now, I'm a little perturbed at this moment, but I'm like, I need a washing machine. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and order it. So she was like, and I told her, I'm like, well, also, y'all charge me, X, Y, and Z. And she was like, okay, well, let's fix all this to make sure that when they deliver everything to you, that it's on the truck and you don't have to worry about all this. And so she went through my online order once again to make sure that everything was okay. And she made sure that I bought everything I needed in store. And then when she made sure I bought everything in store, she made sure to put a note so that like they wouldn't charge me anything. All right. So she was like, do you mind waiting until September 10th to get your stuff? I said no. And it's just like, okay, cool. So she did tell me that And so this is like the middle of August. So I had to wait like an additional almost like 3 or 4 weeks, right? So let's fast forward. Well, actually, let's fast forward to that Tuesday. So that Tuesday, they delivered my washing machine. Not my washing machine, sorry. They delivered my dryer. And so when they delivered my dryer, something was wrong with the first dryer they delivered. The dryer they delivered the first time, like it was broke. And I'm like, how does a brand new dryer coming straight out the delivery, distribution center or whatever, like how is that broke? So it was broke. Not only was it broke, he had to take it back, and then he had to come back again because the part that he had or whatever, or they told me to buy, it wasn't the right part. So they, at this point in my life, I feel like they playing with me because they told me they were supposed to call me to, at least the day before to tell me when they were going to come and deliver. And then I had to actually go to the store to get all this stuff like figured out in person. And then when I go into, then when he actually delivered it to me, when he actually delivered it to me, like it's broke. He got to go back to the store to get another part because the part I bought, it wasn't right. So I'm sitting here like, wow, wow, I should have went to Home Depot. So he brings it, in the house, a new one that he, goes back and get and hooks it up. Everything looks cool. I'm like, great. I have a dryer, but I have no way to wash my clothes. So I guess, it's whatever. So I'll wait, until September 10th to go ahead and get my wash machine. And they deliver it to me. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is not to be rude because I know that we all have to learn on the job. That's just a part of you don't know what to do on the job unless you learn on the job for the most part. So they bring this new person, very nice. However, the dude who teaching him, it's like, my dude, you're gonna let him like get close to my walls with a possibility of scraping my walls in order to try to show him like, you see how my house is set up. Don't let him scrape up my walls, dude. Like, come on. Like, this is a new house. Don't let him scrape up my walls. And so he was like, let me show you. And I'm like, you don't have to try to prove a point to him by trying to embarrass him. Like, just help him out because I'm going to be more mad at you because you know what to do instead of him because he don't know what to do. He don't know how to work the little dolly thing or whatever. He don't know how to work that. You know how to work it, so you need to get up the steps. And so finally, they get it up the steps, and they put it in, they connect it and stuff like that. He's talking about something, oh, I want to just make sure it is and that. And it's two of them. It takes them about 30-45 minutes to put the wash machine in. And at this point, I'm like, 30-45 minutes, like, it's no way it takes somebody 30-45 minutes to put a wash machine in. Because I have been places where people have put that wash machine and stuff in within like 15-20 minutes. It works just fine, and they keep moving. So during this time, these people, they done blocked my neighbors in. So my neighbors, and I don't know why they just didn't pull, like, anyway, I just don't know why they just didn't pull, in my driveway or closer to my driveway, but they decided to try to take up the block. And I'm like, whatever. And I was just hoping that my neighbors wouldn't like leave or have to go anywhere. So my neighbor came over and she knocked on the door and like, hey, you got me blocked in. And I feel really bad because I don't never want to block anybody into their house. And so he's like, okay, man, we gotta hurry up and get this thing in so we can go. But I'm sitting here like, you don't need to be blocking folks in the first place. Like, you got all this room and you decide to block them in. Like, come on now, come on. And not only that, but before they got there, they was lost. I'm like, I don't understand how you can get lost. Like, the street is pretty simple. Like, I think I only had one person to ever get lost trying to find me, but I've had a number of deliveries and stuff like that, and I think that's probably the only person that, the second person that has gotten lost. But anyway, so they deliver it, and they put it up, and so I was like, y'all might want to take this door down so y'all can get both of them in because they have like the I don't know how to describe the doors, but they like sliding doors. And so I was like, you can take this off and you can put it back on track. So they take that one off so they can get it in because I'm like, I don't want them to like damage my door. So they take it off They hook it up, and then they while they hooking it up, they was like, hey, um, do you know that your dryer, like, something wrong with it? I'm like, what's wrong with my dryer? Talking about whoever installed it wrong. Yeah, at this point, I just wanna scream, because and I was like, okay, so what's wrong with it? Let's go with this one right quick. They said, so I said, so what's wrong with it? And then they was like, well, it's wobbly, like he didn't put the legs on right. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so apparently, with the wash machine, the person that put the legs on right, and I guess whatever was wrong with one of the legs, like he screwed it in, or he messed one of the legs up. So now it's essentially like my wash machine is like wobbly. Not wash machine, sorry. My dryer is wobbly. So they tried to fix it the best of their ability, but he was like, you can call the people and tell them to bring you another one out, or bring you some other legs or whatever. And you can tell them that the delivery drivers who put in the wash machine noticed that when we were putting the wash machine in. I said, okay, thank you so much. And he's like, or you could put like a piece of board or something down there to make sure that it doesn't rot, but it probably will rot if you have like a really large, amount of clothes drying. I was like, okay, thank you so much. They put the stuff in. It takes them like 20 more minutes to put the door in, and then I have to sign all this stuff, and then they leave. Now I'm gonna be honest. Oh, and then also I just want to say this too. And then when one of them first came, well, both of them, when they first came in the house, they didn't have on masks. I had on my mask, but they didn't have on masks. Then when they saw I had on masks, they gonna put their mask on. And then one of their masks, like, it fell down. That he kept having to pull it up, and then like he would pull it down, and then he would have to pull it back up. The other one, and that's the new guy who kept his mask on the whole time. But the veteran, he just kept doing all kind of stuff, and I'm like, my dude, like, I'm pretty sure they tell y'all to have your mask on at all times and stuff like that. Like, you just need to have it on. So, to be quite honest with this honest review of Lowe's, and I know like it was pretty long, but what I will say is this, y'all, like, if you can go to Home Depot, go to Home Depot. I've never had an issue with Home Depot. Whether it was me picking up something, like, I ordered online, me picking it up in the store, never had an issue. Whether it was them delivering something to me, never had an issue. I never have an issue with Home Depot. I guess I need to go find some wood to knock on, but I don't have an issue with Home Depot. Now, Lowe's, on the other hand, I don't know if Lowe's is just overwhelmed right now. I don't know if they just write it off their name or whatever, but I just have an issue with them. Now, Whirlpool, I do like my Whirlpool. I've tried it out. I tried both the washer and the dryer out, and I think Whirlpool is a trusted brand, so I don't have any complaints with the actual appliance. What I have issue with is the customer service, and what I have also an issue with is the delivery stuff. Because if you're the delivery people, you need to make sure that like, first you need to be following protocols for COVID-19, safety protocols for COVID-19. Then you also need to be following protocols for, okay, if I know somebody don't know how to get something up somebody's steps or in somebody's house, in order for me not to cause any damage to their house, I'm going to take over for that part. So you need to be focused on that. Number two, you need to make sure that whatever product that you bring into somebody's house has been inspected and ain't nothing wrong with it. Because now, like I said, wash machine, thank God, it's okay. Dryer, it works pretty good, but it is a little wobbly, but for the most part, it works really good. I don't have any complaints with that. I have, thought about, should I contact Whirlpool, should I contact Lowe's? However, at this point, I don't want anybody else from Lowe's coming in my house for any reason, to be completely honest. Unless you're a friend of mine and you work at Lowe's, I don't really want you coming into my house. So, with all that being said, would I recommend buying stuff from Lowe's? If you can go to Lowe's and buy stuff in person, I would say yes. And I'm not talking about any type of appliance. I'm talking about, like, if you can go there and buy a tool, a piece of wood, some flowers or whatever, I would recommend it. If you are buying an appliance, if you have a friend or a buddy that can help you get that appliance out the store onto your truck and into your house and hook it up yourself, I don't think anything wrong with that. But if you have them people deliver it and stuff like that, you're going to run into some issues. And that's just straight up real talk. Now, if you work for Lowe's, if you deliver for Lowe's, and you hear this, please, consider this when you passing out people products and stuff like that, because right now, like I said, if I can't go into Lowe's and pick it up myself, especially if it's like an appliance or something like that, then I don't really want it from Lowe's. I'd rather go with Home Depot, which can be a little bit more expensive than Lowe's sometimes. Sometimes they aren't. They're about the same price or a little cheaper, but I'd rather go with Home Depot and just have a phenomenal experience in the store, online, and delivery, rather than going with Lowe's where I'm going to go through the runaround. So that's my honest opinion. That's my honest review. I do have some videos of it. I don't know if I will insert it in here or not. If y'all drop down in the comments and tell me that you want to see like the videos of like the dry wobbling, then I might edit a video or do like another short video to show you all it actually wobbling and stuff. But other than that, this is my honest review of Lowe's. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully it helps you if you are considering any type of delivery from Lowe's or buying anything from Lowe's and you want it delivered. Other than that, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.